Hello, welcome. Today it is hot as hell out, so if you think I look hot, thank you. I'm gonna do an empties video today. I kind of started looking at the things I put to the side because they're empty, and I feel like the assortment that I have right now is kind of boring. I'm just gonna be honest, kind of boring stuff. So I thought to spice it up, I would put some declutter products in this video also. Last year I was doing a lot of separate videos where, actually no, first I was doing combinations, empty and declutter, then I was doing separate videos, empties video, declutter video. This year I've been doing my declutters more by category, which I do think is a little bit more interesting, but there's some categories I'm not gonna go through and do a dedicated video to that collection and declutter it, so I thought I would throw some of those things in here, so I can tell you about the things that I've used up recently, so I know enough about them because I've used them completely, and I can also tell you about the things that I decided midway through to abandon. So I'm gonna try to kind of go by categories, but I'm not gonna stick to that religiously. The first thing I'm going to show you is a candle. I have one candle. This is from Forever Mood, Jackie Aina's brand. It's the shade. It's the scent Matcha Business. It's the first candle that I've used up from hers. I bought this and I bought the birthday cake candle at the same time last November, I think, and I haven't lit that one yet. But this one I did use up to the best of my ability. I wanted this because I love the smell of hazelnut. There's this grocery store near me, and it was like shortly before I bought this candle last like holiday season, and I was walking through and I was just like, oh my god. I was just like looking for excuses to stand in that section, reading labels, just wanting to like breathe it in. I want to take all my friends and family there. I want them to experience the scent. It smells so good there. I think it must be like hazelnut coffee, but I don't even like coffee. I don't think coffee smells good, but hazelnut smells so good. So hazelnut was one of the notes in here, and I guess it doesn't really, like, according to the descriptions, it doesn't have a matcha scent, but they named it matcha because it has that hazelnut note in it. I don't know. My review on this is that, like, it was nice, it had a nice scent, but I got sick of it. I don't know what other people with candles do. I feel like I'm kind of new to the candle game, and I think candles look cute before they're lit. And like, you know, like I'm trying to not have as much sitting around unused. I want to kind of work through the candles that I have and then kind of get to a system where I'm just like buying one and using it. But like, do other people have multiple candles that are like half lit and then they choose the scent that they want to light? Please let me know, because I've just been doing one at a time, and maybe that's not a good strategy because maybe that's the reason I got sick of this, and maybe if I spread it out longer, I wouldn't have gotten sick of this. But by the end, I was just like nauseated by it. It didn't have that, like, I don't know, maybe for the hazelnut smell to smell so good to me, it needs to be like mellowed out by the coffee or something like that. And maybe this not being so coffee-ish was just too sweet. I don't know. I'm not planning on repurchasing this. If I found another vegan candle that was hazelnut scent, I would probably give it a try. But yeah, I'm really over this one. I won't be that long-winded about everything, because if I am, this will take a while. So a product that you've seen before in these empties, if you've watched this before, the Tarte Shape Tape, my favorite concealer. I feel like everyone moved on from this at some point, and I didn't get the memo. I don't want to get the memo. This is the coverage that I want. Every other concealer that I try, I feel like I just don't like how my under eyes look. So this one I like. I also have one mascara. This is the Melt Supernatural mascara, and I've been looking for a mascara that I'm obsessed with, and it's a journey. It's like, how many expensive mascaras can I try also without loving them? I know I like a big fluffy brush, and this kind of fits the bill in that. And I will say that towards the end of this, I liked it a lot. I even got some comments being like, what mascara are you using? Your eyelashes look good. And I'm like, it's the Melt Supernatural, but it's almost dried out. I know mascaras like are kind of a journey, and of course they're going to be more wet when you first get them. They're going to be more dry after a little while, but like I don't think I could in good faith purchase this again, knowing I don't really like the outcome until I've been using it for like 2 months and then it only has like a month or two left of its lifespan. I just want to love a mascara. This one was good because it didn't smudge, it didn't like flake, and those things are like definite no's, get out of my life right now. So like it wasn't bad, but like I just want more drama. Why is it so hard to find the drama? I have 2 eye creams. First one is the First Aid Beauty Eye Duty Niacinamide Brightening Cream. I got this in a Trend Mood box. I think it was at the end of 2020. And I know that there's some issue with First Aid Beauty now. I believe they started selling in China, so they're no longer considered cruelty-free. And I mean, when it comes to this eye cream, like, that's fine with me. I mean, like, on principle, it's not fine with me because, like, it's, you know. But when it comes to this eye cream, it was okay. I thought it was it was kind of like a gelée formula, I would say. Not quite a gel, not quite a cream. And I felt like it was fine, but it didn't do anything big to impress me. That's kind of like my same song I sing with all skincare products that I'm just like, they're not bad, but that's how I felt about this. It got the job done. I didn't mind using it, but I didn't love it. Then I had this little sample. This might have been like the birthday gift or maybe just like a point perk from Sephora. It's the Glow Recipe Avocado Melt Retinol Eye Sleeping Mask. This, I didn't like the formulation of. It felt kind of like soft clay. It felt like an avocado, actually. Maybe that was on purpose, come to think of it. But I didn't like how it felt. I didn't like how it went onto my under eyes. Effect-wise, I didn't notice anything good or bad, but just the experience of using it wasn't my favorite. I will mention, since we're here, I think I did mention this kind of recently, but in April, since I used up those eye creams, I did a replacement and I bought this Ole Henriksen, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Wrinkle Blur Bakuchiol eye gel cream, and I love how this one feels going on. So I feel like that's the kind of thing I can judge skincare on, whether it's bad and whether or not I like the experience. I feel like maybe I haven't been using this enough, like, to know if it's bad. I mean, it's definitely not immediately bad. I haven't noticed anything big, good, or bad since I started using it, but I really like the formulation of it and I like the experience of putting it on. A couple other skincare products that I'm just going to quickly mention because I don't have strong feelings about them. The Glow Recipe Plump Hyaluronic Serum. I think this was in the same set with the eye cream. It was fine. Then I also have the Shiseido Ultimune Power Infusing Concentrate. I don't think Shiseido's cruelty-free. I also think they're expensive, so I wouldn't buy it because of that, but also it did nothing to excite me to make me want to buy it. I also have the Sunday Riley CEO 15% Vitamin C Brightening Serum. I believe you're supposed to put on vitamin C in the morning, but I'm not on the morning skincare thing. I don't have the capacity. Yeah, maybe that's like my fantasy self one day far in the future when I wake up early and I have nice relaxing mornings. Maybe I'll start my day putting on skincare, but like I'm not there. So I was just kind of trying to use this up before bed and it was fine. I also have the Ordinary Gran Active Retinoid 2% Emulsion and used the whole thing up. It was fine. I guess the good thing about this is that it's cheap. And I feel like it's probably good for my skin. So I would probably consider repurchasing it for that reason. Yeah. I also used up this Fourth Ray Beauty Rose Face Milk. This I believe I got in a sample set from Ulta, because I know I didn't purchase this myself from ColourPop. But, I mean, I feel like a lot of my skincare thoughts are pretty baseless. But I just feel like I don't trust this one with my skin, and because of that, I didn't use it on my face. I used it a little bit on my neck, and I used it on like my legs as like a skin cream. It smelled fine, but I was just like, I don't know, something about this brand just kind of concerns me that it's too much like, I mean, obviously like all makeup companies are trying to like churn a buck, but I feel like ColourPop is like a pretty extreme example of that, and I feel like their skincare is just them trying to sell you on an idea rather than sell you on quality, and I just don't believe that there's like good ingredients in here for my skin. Again, baseless, I don't really know, but that's how I felt, and I didn't want to use it on my face, so I didn't. The next category I have is things that I decided to declutter because they've been sitting around forever. And I'm really kind of like happy with myself for coming to this conclusion, because I have a sunscreen that I really like to wear under my makeup if I'm going out during the day, if I'm doing my makeup to then go outside when there's gonna be sun. I use the Supergoop Unseen sunscreen. And then I also had, from that Trend Mood box that I got back in 2020, I had the NYX Marshmallow Primer that I was just kind of like, I had it hanging out, waiting to use it once I finished up using other primers, but I'm just not that big on using primers. And I only use primers when I'm putting on my makeup for nighttime. And I kind of just decided that like, why am I saving this marshmallow one forever to try to use up these other things first? It's like, that's gonna go bad while it's just like waiting in queue for me to get to it. So I was like, I'm just gonna get rid of these other things that have been clogging up the path. And I'm happy that I did, because I've actually been using primer more because I'm more excited to use that marshmallow primer than I was excited to use any of these. So this is, I think these are all sample sizes. It's the Tarte Double Duty Base Tape Primer. We also have the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. And then we also have the Murad Oil and Pore Control Mattifier SPF 45. The Shiseido 50 Plus Ultimate Sun Protection Cream. I believe both of these were from like the Sephora Sun Protection set a long time ago. I feel like I bought that in like 2016 or something, and there was so many samples that I never got through, and I'm pretty sure these are from that. And then also this is the Origins Ginzing Energy Boosting Moisturizer. Maybe this is in my head, but I feel like if it's like energy boosting, I didn't want to put it on to go to bed. So it was like a morning thing that I never got to use. So I'm kind of happy that I'm taking these out of rotation, or taking these out of clogging up the rotation. So now the rotation is actually rotating. You know what I mean? Let's talk about some hair products next. So I have this dry shampoo sample from DP Hue. It's the apple cider vinegar dry shampoo. And I did not like this. I've expressed my feelings before about dry shampoo that I just feel like most of them, maybe they satisfy the issue for the moment, but like my hair feels disgusting and I still have to wash it like as soon as possible. And this definitely was one of those. I just remember it making my roots just feel so like hard. Did not like it. I used it up. So yeah, but I'm done with that. I like my dry shampoo. I'm done with the endless search, the trial for dry shampoos. I've landed on one that's good. I also have these two leave-in conditioners that are empty. This one is the Pravana Intense Therapy Leave-In Treatment. This I had a bigger bottle of, and I thought it was alright, and I wasn't planning on repurchasing it. And then there was like some deal with Ulta that if you bought any hair product, you got like a mystery bag. This was like last year or a year and a half ago. So I bought this one, even though I knew it wasn't my favorite. I feel like I'm kind of training myself out of being enticed by these mystery bags, because I feel like that's how I end up with a lot of samples like the ones I'm showing today that kind of just sit around forever and I'm not excited about them. So all in all, a pretty silly endeavor. Like, it's fine, but I like the other one that we're going to talk about next more, which is the Briochio Farewell Frizz Rosarco Milk Leave-In Conditioning Spray. I actually used this up when I was in Miami, and I lugged it back so I could proper empties it. I just feel like this one leaves my hair nice and soft. It makes it easier to brush out if that's the style I'm going for after a shower. If I'm just kind of like letting it air dry, I won't brush it, but if I'm going to be heat styling it, I will brush it. And this one's just nice. This one just feels nicer. It's a nice experience, and I like using it. I think I do have a couple other leave-in conditioner things still here, but once I finish all those up, this is going to be my one that I use. And I'm really happy to like have finally narrowed down that search as well. I feel like I'm kind of really getting there with my hair products and just like knowing what I like, and I don't have to like think about it anymore. I have two other hair products, both of which are declutters. I have this hairspray from White Rain. I'm sure it's not cruelty free. I bought this probably like 10 years ago. I was working at CVS, and an older lady that had like one of those kind of like fluffy old lady hairdos, she was telling me how this was like the best hairspray, and I bought it. And I really don't use hairspray ever. I find like when I curl my hair, I prefer to use kind of like a texturizer to keep it in, you know, to keep it styled a little bit more than I like a hairspray. But because of that, this has sat on my shelf for all of this time, and I finally tried to use it semi-recently, and I realized it just made my hair sticky. I don't know if that's because it's so old or what, but I feel like my life lesson I've been learning this year is just like, try to use the things that you have, and you learn a lot about them. So I learned that this is not really holding a place by sitting on my shelf because I don't like it. It's not good. And then I also have the Holdout from Cake. This I bought, I think in 2019, because I was in the city at my friend's apartment and I needed a hairspray because I curled my hair. And this I feel like was more of a texturizer than a hairspray, even though it seems like it's advertised as a hairspray. I'm not sure if this one somehow went off also, because I remember liking it at the time, and when I used it recently, it made my hair sticky. So, I don't know. I know I really like the Dry Bar texturizer spray, and I don't think I have that one now, so I feel like if I don't have any texturizers, that will be the one that I have, and I really don't need a hairspray. We're gonna do a quick fragrance rundown, because I don't remember the reason for a lot of these that I don't like them. I don't know. I feel like I guess I could take notes on it, but like the point of this, like the lesson that I've learned that I want to share is that I feel like a lot of the times, especially when it comes to fragrance, but also like with other things too, I feel like it's fine if I don't hate it. And I'm trying to change that mindset because I do have fragrances that I love, and I don't want to use those less because I'm clogging up my collection with things that I think are just okay. So I've been trying to remember that, and when I use a sample and I'm like, this is fine, I get rid of it. Like, I should be like, ooh, like that's how I feel about my favorites. I'm like, wow, shower me in this. I want to smell this all day. It transports me when I sniff it on my wrist. And like these that I'm going to show you, they just don't make me feel that way. So I have a sample from Missoni. I don't know. I have a couple from Pinrose. I had bought one of their sample sets a couple years ago, and because of that, I found out that I love Pillow Talk Poet, and I do have a full size of that. I am happy I have that. I like using that, but I've been kind of like slowly weeding out the other ones ever since. So I'm decluttering Sun Saint and Float on Air. Oh no, this is called Lil Dipper. I don't know why it says two things on it, but Lil Dipper. I also have this one from Nest. It's Midnight Fleur. This one almost passed the test and stuck around, but I think it just smells a little bit too much like soap. It smells like floral laundry detergent, and laundry detergent isn't my favorite. Florals aren't my favorite, so why would I keep that around? I also have this Elizabeth and James Nirvana Rose. Don't love it. This one I did pretty much use up. This is Gucci Guilty. I don't really know how to describe it. I'm not the best at describing perfumes, as you may have noticed. But this one just smells kind of sexy, but not enough that I would want a full size. It's not cruelty free either, so I wouldn't purchase the full size. but it just smells kind of sexy. The final fragrance I've been on a little bit of a roller coaster with. It's this Sol de Janeiro. It was a collab with Anita. I'm not sure who that person is, but it's a passion fruit nectar and pink patchouli scent body spray. I bought this because I love the other Sol de Janeiro body sprays. I have the regular scent. Is there even a name for that? You know what I mean though, like the scent of the Boom Boom cream. And then I also have the blue one that's kind of more of a coconutty scent. And I love both of those. I love them. And for a little while last year, I just like wanted everything that Sol de Janeiro came out with. I also have like the Plum one, and that one like isn't my favorite as much as those first two, but like it's all right. But this one, I think it just smells too much like nectar, like too much kind of like sickly sweet. Yeah, like it smells good at first scent, but not in the way that I want to smell like it. And also, for a while I was using it as like a room spray or like a garbage spray. I have a cat and, you know, occasionally I'll like scoop her litter box and I don't like take it out that second. So I might like spray the bag with this, you know? But I feel like because I was doing that, this smell like that I already didn't love, I kind of just like associate with the smell of trash. And that's making me like it even less. So I think it's time that I finally bid it adieu. Okay, we have the final 4 things, and they are kind of makeup-y, all of them, so that's good. I have this eyeliner. I'm gonna call this an empties, even though, like, you know, I'm sure I could still use it for a couple days if it was an emergency. But it's this black eyeliner from LA Girl. They came out with these a couple years ago, and I bought all the colors that they had. It was like the neon shockwave. And I liked a lot of them a lot. A couple of them weren't as great. I think this is the only one that I have left at this point, and this black one was really good. I used it for tight line for all of this time. I was happy with it. I guess I would consider repurchasing it, but the thing that makes me nervous with these liners is I don't know if the ones that were good because the formulation of that color is good, or if just like some of them are more dried out than others and like it's a total crapshoot what you get, you know? So I would consider purchasing this again if I needed a tight line liner. But I mean, I do have like a Urban Decay one that I'm using now, and judging by how long this one lasted, that one will probably last me a really long time anyway. And for all I know, I'll have like another sample to use by the time I need another one. I have 2 mini foundations. They're both from Tarte. They're both in the shade Fairlight Neutral, which is the reason that I like Tarte foundations so much. I mean, I guess I do just like Tarte foundations, but I'm interested in trying them because it's so easy for me to shade match in their line. So I have this Hydroflex. This is kind of like a tinted moisturizer, which is very in line with what I like to use. But I like my CoverGirl Skin Milk more, and this is more expensive. I think this one is like a little bit more like greasy also. It's called a Serum foundation, and it really does have that kind of like slick, thin feeling going on. So it was fine to use up, but not my favorite. And then I also have this water foundation from them. C water foundation. And this one was annoying because it has this like dropper, and I feel like, I mean, there's not really anything left in it, but I feel like this really didn't work like it was supposed to, and most of the time I would just kind of like do it and then just like wipe it on my hand and then put it on my face. It didn't really like drop out. So I don't really like that. I wonder if like the dropper works better in the full size, and for the mini they were just kind of like, screw them, they're only spending 15 bucks. But I don't know. The formula wasn't nice enough for me to like either. It was, you know, it was a light foundation, which is what I'm into, but again, I just prefer the CoverGirl. And then the last thing is an eyebrow brush. This is from Nabla. I did a brush declutter kind of recently. Hopefully that went up not too long ago. And I couldn't decide then what eyebrow brushes I wanted to keep and which ones I wanted to declutter. And I finally made my decision. And I based it on a couple things. First of all, this is too long for my drawer. And I can't close the drawer that I keep my eyebrow products in with it in it. And that's annoying. Yeah. Another thing is that I kind of like that this brush was like a little bit looser, but I found that my brows just look better when I apply the powder with a firmer brush. And that was really like the big decision, that the other two that I have are shorter bristles, and I could really just kind of like precisely put on the powder better than I can with this one. So that was my decision, and I'm sticking to it. So yeah, that's everything. I'm pretty sure that was exactly 30 things, so that's kind of cool, and I'm really excited to mark those out of my inventory. And yeah, I hope this wasn't as boring as I initially suspected. I hope that there was something valuable here, or it was entertaining to spend a little time together. If you enjoyed this, please give me a like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me, and there's a lot more mindful makeup content and thoughtful declutters on the way. And thank you so much for being here. Bye.